Look at the headlines today, and you'll see a country locked in heavy sanctions, proxy conflicts, and high-stakes nuclear diplomacy. While this adversarial posture is often tied to the 1979 revolution, the roots of this defiance stem from the ancient foundations of the Iranian plateau. This is an ancient civilization that has been repeatedly burned to the ground, only to continuously rebuild itself. To find the origin of this survival, we have to rewind 3,000 years, before the word Iran even existed, to the earliest city-states of the Elamite civilization. Navigating the modern geopolitical chessboard requires examining a civilization that survives by constantly resetting itself. By 550 BC, Cyrus united the Indo-Iranian tribes and pushed outward, conquering from Babylon to Central Asia, to form the Achaemenid Empire. Administering this massive territory required a new approach. The empire was divided into standardized provinces, with royal roads and streamlined tax collection. The glue holding it together was a policy of strict tolerance. Cyrus allowed conquered peoples to keep their local customs and religions. This clay artifact, the Cyrus cylinder, records him freeing displaced groups, like the Jews in Babylon, to return home and rebuild their temples. That administrative machine ran for 2 centuries, until Alexander the Great marched in and violently defeated the Persian forces. The Greek conqueror then burned the magnificent ancient capital of Persepolis to ashes. The political structure collapsed, and Greek rulers took over, yet Iranian cultural identity remained intact. They waited out the occupation, proving that a military defeat did not result in cultural erasure. Centuries later, the Sasanian Empire revived Persian centralization and Zoroastrian traditions, engaging in an exhausting, endless war with the Roman and Byzantine empires. By the 630s AD, both sides were drained. That exhaustion left the door open for a new force from the Arabian Peninsula. Arab-Muslim armies swept in, defeated the remaining Sasanian forces, and absorbed the region into the Islamic world. Persian culture didn't disappear under the new caliphate. It adapted. The language adopted Arabic script while keeping its internal logic, and Iranian scholars became the intellectual engine of the Islamic Golden Age. Conquering Iran inevitably forces the foreign conquerors to assimilate into Iranian culture. The invaded essentially hack the invader's operating system. This dynamic was tested in the 13th century when Mongol invasions swept across the plateau, leveling ancient cities and bringing the most brutal, absolute devastation in the region's long, blood-soaked history. Yet the Mongols fell into the exact same pattern. The resulting Ilkhanate state eventually adopted local Persian traditions and converted to Islam. In 1501, a new power emerged that permanently drew the borders of modern Iran. The Safavid dynasty took control and declared Twelver Shia Islam as the state religion. This decree triggered an artistic renaissance. In cities like Isfahan, the Safavids fused Persian architecture, statecraft, and Shia theology into a single, cohesive identity. By making Shia Islam the foundation of the state, the Safavids forged a cultural armor that permanently distinguished the local Iranian populace from the surrounding Sunni empires. That distinct identity faced pressure in the 19th and 20th centuries as British and Russian interests carved up the region, especially once oil was discovered. This external pressure gave rise to the Western-aligned Pahlavi dynasty. When Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh attempted to assert economic independence by nationalizing the oil industry in 1953, he was overthrown in a coup backed by the CIA and British intelligence. Decades of subsequent authoritarian rule and foreign interference exploded into the mass protests of 1979. The monarchy collapsed, Ayatollah Khamenei returned from exile, and the modern Islamic Republic of Iran was established, leading to the current geopolitical standoff overseen by Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Today, global powers often treat the government in Tehran like a temporary political problem to be contained through policy and sanctions. The 1979 revolution represents the latest reboot in a 5,000-year cycle, one more instance of a civilization that refuses to stay down.